Hi YouTube. Today I'm going to show you how I replace a lace closure on one of the wigs that I do make. And this is actually one of the reasons why I prefer these kind of wigs as opposed to like full lace wigs, because repairs are so much easier to do and they do last longer. So as you know, with like lace, anything lace in hair, the hair is actually like looped around the grids on the lace, and so it's really actually a delicate piece. Delicate is lace in general, and then just the way that the hair is looped around the holes, the grids, whatever, it's very delicate. So one of the common cons and common issues of lace wigs, or like full lace wigs or closures or frontals, is that the hair does start to fall out, and that is true. I used to wear lace wigs like all the time, and then but that was the one reoccurring issue, was that I always got like big bald spots in the wigs. So the way that the wigs that I make are constructed, they're on a mesh base, right? And it has adjustable straps and combs inside. So, and it stretches really good, but it doesn't stretch out. So no matter how much you wash your unit, it's not going to stretch out. Another thing is that with the lace closure, it's just lace at the top in your parting area, like so. So this part of my hair is lace. The rest of it is wefts. So this makes my units last forever. And then with the lace, because the hair will come out eventually, like over time, my customers or all I do is take out the closure. So this is what the unit, I made this unit like 3 years ago for one of my customers, and now I'm going to replace her closure. So she like really was like riding this one out, but I don't know what happened. I would have replaced mine by now, but I don't know, she loved it so much and she was able to conceal it. I don't know if you can see this. So yeah, so another thing you can do is, if you have someone near you or know someone who knows how to ventilate, you can always just send your unit or your lace wig or your closure, frontal, whatever, to have it reventilated. But I know sometimes that's kind of expensive and it's time consuming, and it's kind of rare to find. I haven't found anyone that, you know, I was able to talk to that can do it. So the next best thing is just replace the closure, which is this part, and it's really easy, kind of, and I'm gonna show you the before and the after. Okay, so here's the close-up of the closure on this unit, and like I said, this closure is really old. I'm not sure what happened here, but it looks like she kind of just rolled it out, so I'm gonna fix it for her. Okay, so now I'm going to remove the closure. First, I secure the wig inside out to my mannequin head, and I just use a couple of pins just to pin it down. I'm gonna also use a seam ripper from my sewing machine to cut the seams that hold the closure together with the base of the wig cap. When I do make the wig caps, when I do make the units, I use a different thread than what I sew the tracks on, so it can be easy to differentiate between the two. Okay, so I have the first side up, and as you can see where the lace part is separated from the wig base, and you can see the first weft at the top. So when you're cutting the seams, I like to use a different thread from what I sew my closures down with than what I sew the tracks with. But now I use a sewing machine to sew the rest, like to put the tracks on the wig, so it's easier to differentiate between the thread. And I still sew my closures by hands, just because it gets them to lay flatter than on the sewing machine, and it's less room for error by hand with the closures than on the sewing machine, because that's a whole nother story. But for everything else, I do use the sewing machine. So what you will find is that you can cut the you can cut the closure out, but the first weft, you might have to like re-sew that down to the base, because a lot of times, you'll have to, when you sew the closure down or sew the weft, you want to sew it closer. There's no gaps here, there's no space, and everything lays like flat and flush. So this is what it looks like, and it's almost done. And then I'll show you the final project once it's off. Okay, so I took the closure off, and this is what it looks like. So as you can see, the rest of it is wefts. So like I said, I made this wig like 3 years ago, and it just needs to get like restored. It's still really, really pretty though. I don't know if you could see like the shininess of the hair. But it's really, really pretty still. But of course I'm gonna like wash it, condition it, and straighten it for her, so it'll be perfect when she gets it back. And so this was the closure that was on there. That was all old and beat up, right? And then this is the new closure that we're going to put on there. And as you can see, it's pretty and full and still a natural density. What I don't do, I'm gonna tweeze it a little bit, but I don't like to over tweeze the closures because over time they'll settle and it'll naturally kind of thin out. Like mine, I just barely tweeze like my parting area and then just like the front and a little bit throughout, but I don't like it to where it like actually looks like a real hairline, just because it won't last very long. So, or it kind of, not that it won't last long, it just reduces the lifespan of it, and I really don't like to like, it'll get there when it gets there, but you have to kind of, it's like a puzzle piece. You got to get this here, you got to line it up and make sure you know that it's right on each side in order to do it. And sometimes it's kind of tricky and kind of frustrating, but it's easy to do. Okay, so here I'm showing you where I have put the closure, the new closure in place, and I secured it in place to the rest of the unit by using pins. And you just want to make sure everything is really nice, neat, and that everything lines up in the back and especially in the front. Okay, so I wasn't able to record myself sewing. I got distracted, but I went ahead and I just stitched around, stitched the closure back to the base of the wig, and I usually start towards the back of the closure and then just go around the perimeter, and then I tie off, well, I cut it, you know, at the front and then tie it. But you can see that it's in place and everything's nice and secure. It's a brand new closure, no bald spots. I already bleached the knots before, so now I'm actually going to go ahead and, like, you know, tweeze the hairline just a little bit, trim it and blend it to the rest of the hair, and then go ahead and wash and deep condition it. I actually meant to show you guys an after, but she actually came and picked it up, so I wasn't able to show you.